My name is Takashi Yamaguchi. Thank you for coming today. It is an honor as an actor to be part of this film and to be with you all today. Thank you so much.
Hi, Nancy. Hello. Yes. Nancy Dickenson, a producer. It's a joy to be here. It's an amazing museum. Thank you all for joining us today. And I look forward to any questions you might have or anything you'd like to know about the genesis of the movie, etc.
One second. I'm Nancy LaPook Diamond, and I've been working with the film for a few years, and look forward to your questions as well. And also want to let you know that the film is also available on Amazon Prime right now.
So I want to open it up if any of the audience have any questions. Yeah,
Do you have any idea of how the author happened to write this story?
That's a very good question. I don't know. The author lives in Georgia, and certainly experienced the kind of life and attitudes in Georgia growing up. I think was she in her 60s, maybe? But I don't remember if she said that there was an incident or that she remembers, she would have been, I don't know if she would have been, I was a little girl when this happened, but I'm not sure she,
And also interesting to know is that Maggie Greenwald rewrote the ending. The ending is Maggie Greenwald's inspiration. The book ends differently.
we felt it was necessary. We loved it. That in the book they leave, and of course the reader wonders, are they going to make it? And if you're an optimist, you think they are, but you don't know what happens. She decided it was important to bring in the internment, or as I saw in the museum, the concentration camps, and she wanted to show that they were together and that they lived that way in love and marriage in the internment camp.
The question was, where did you find your actors and how did the process go?
Well, I want Taka or Nancy to talk about the journey to Taka and how overjoyed we were when he joined us. Obviously, there are agents for actors, and we went to the agents who were able to. I love Margot Martindale. I start with that. I love Margot Martindale, and I said, please, please, please show the script to her, and please, please, please get her. She loved the story, and I said, we are going to wait till she is available, cross our fingers, to begin the film. And Margot suggested Julianne, who
They've worked together.
Yeah.
We can't remember anything. It was about the seasons.
Yes. And
Something in Oregon County or something.
Oh,
Augusta Osage County.
Osage County. Right. They were in a film together. They liked each other very much, and Margot felt that Julianne would be perfect for the part. And then, Taka, do you want to talk about how Maggie? yeah, that you through
In
how you reached us.
Well, first, I think before Taka tells us his story was that so many different actors came to audition for the role, but they were actually too American. And so that was, kind of a big part of the story, of course, is we didn't want the person to be so American. So at the very
Because
last minute,
I'm from Japan. In 2015, maybe in May? No, March. I took an audition for this film. Actually, I got my work visa, actor's visa, artist visa, at that time, and after just 6 days, I have gotten this audition information from my manager Sally, and finally, I got this acting job, movie job.
but just in time.
Huh?
Wasn't it just in time?
Just in time.
Your work visa was going to expire?
Expire?
No, I think you just got it.
Yeah, you just got
Just received your work. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
in time.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
It was perfect timing.
Yes.
Yes.
How long did it take you to film?
Maybe 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
For 5 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks, and then, and we were in McClellanville, South Carolina. I don't know if any of you know of that area, the Low Country along the coast. It's quite magical. Those beautiful scenes you saw are there.
Yeah. It was a very so beautiful
Yeah, so
place.
beautiful.
Yeah.
For those of us from Japan and from California, New Mexico, it was really a very special experience. And while we live in beautiful places, it had a magic that carried us all during those 5 weeks, who were part of this family of people. It takes a village. It was a village. It was filmed in a village to make this movie.
You've talked about being in that environment, and thank you for bringing that wonderful environment to the viewer, because the cinematography, the environmental stuff is just gorgeous. Can you talk about some of the filming of this, second unit that did all this work and so on? And
Well, Wolfgang,
it's beautiful.
yes, thank you. I'll pass it on. We have been complimented over and over again for cinematography. And he expressed what was there. It was almost like, I called it the Brigadoon of the South. He conveyed the feel of the place and the beauty and the softness and the slowness. And thank you for that, because we all felt that. Anything else to add to that? Yeah. And it was a village, and sometimes the villagers don't get along, but this village got along. The actual village and the village who made the movie, and almost 100%, not quite 100%, almost 100%, everyone worked beautifully and harmoniously together. Yeah.
You may or may have not noticed, but there were a lot of older women in the film, and older women who were the producers, executive producers, production coordinators. And not as old as now, but we represented the over 50 group, and we were told that no one would want to see a movie about people who were over 50, especially women. So we proved them wrong.
But we're very glad there are men here in the audience, as there were everywhere. But yes. One agent said, middle-aged women and older don't like going to malls and seeing movies. They're afraid.
I got it. I got a question coming. No offense to Takashi, but I really enjoyed it. You did a good performance and all that.
Thank you.
But to make it authentic, it had to be a Nisei, because you have an accent and the movie just doesn't work, because it's supposed to be about a Nisei, right? This story, he's supposed to be a Nisei.
Yes.
because you have an accent, Niseis would not have that accent, and so it made it kind of bad. It didn't make it authentic. Although the story was good, the acting was good, but the accent was bad.
Yeah, Maggie, the director. Oh,
The way the director would answer this, Maggie Greenwald, if she was here. No, it's not. It's not battery. The way that Maggie Greenwald has explained when this has been brought up before is that she wanted to show that he was from a very close-knit family that possibly did not assimilate yet into the, Los Angeles culture, and that while he was his farming culture, and that he was isolated, and he also was a little naive, which is. Where did he grow up? Go ahead.
Maggie explained me Grover. He grew up in Japanese community, and okay. So the director said, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't need to think about the pronunciation or intonation.
That was fine.
We discussed that early on. We love Taka. And coming from New Mexico, I expressed what you're expressing within the Hispanic community. If you are kind of insulated, I knew first generation New Mexicans of Hispanic origin whose English in the same way is like Taka. So I talked about that at the beginning. Yeah. Because as you said, some people would say, well, why does he have that? But it's because I knew Hispanic Americans who had that way of speaking with a strong Spanish accent and pronunciation. And now you're saying that too.
I think that was a very beautiful movie and good story. But as you mentioned, at the very end, when they show the camp, and I kind of felt was some American people saying the camp was good, better idea for Japanese people to be protected. And that's some people saying like that way to make justify. And when I saw it, the scene was just they had a tough time being beaten up, and then now they are happy inside the camp. And that's kind of, to me, that may bring up the another controversy truly to make it justify that camp was right or not. And that's kind of awkward, feeling. And either way, I'm not saying good or bad, but it just felt that way, was very strongly. Thank you.
I think what the director wanted was to show that they were happy together, that the happiness that she showed in looking at him, working on the garden, was because they were together. And I think what she tried to show was that it wasn't a happy place, but that they were happy. But I understand what you mean.
In doing research, I learned that there were two, again, I'll use it, Anglo women who were married to Japanese American men who were in the camp together. And one, maybe both, but one of them was an artist, and I'm sure the book is out of print, but she was an artist who created artwork, had very close relationships with other families, Japanese families, she was together, loved her husband, created art within the camp. I think after the experience for the real people, it was not an easy life. And there were, as I said, a few Caucasian women who were married to Japanese who were in the camps. Yeah. That, I'm sorry, her name again. Oh, yeah. I have a book done by her. Yes.
You know, as the movie was going on, I was trying to figure out how this was going to end. And I see clearly that that was about the only place where they were going to be safe. I didn't know, you know, how it was going to end, and it was a perfect ending.
Thank you. Where there's a will, there's a way.
There were some wonderful performances by the actors in this, all the way around, a nice ensemble cast. Can you talk about the director and how that happened and pulling out those performances? That'd be great.
Maggie Greenwald is a director who's done some wonderful independent films, The Ballad of Little Joe, and is and my daughters who also make films were at Sundance at the same time as Maggie Greenwald, and when I was thinking about directorship, my one daughter said, well, what about Maggie Greenwald? She did The Ballad of Little Joe, and then what was the wonderful Appalachian, yeah. Ooh, retire. And I sent the treatment to her, and I sent her the book. She loved the book. She said, I want to do the movie. And that's how Maggie Greenwald joined us and became a driving force. And I think Taka and she had a wonderful day, had a very good relationship, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good relationship, but she, as a director, she didn't say much. I think she gave us freedom. That trust made us work our hardest with joy. She's very friendly.
I think we have time for one or two more questions. If anyone, still, you have someone up here.
I'm just wondering how long did it take to create this beautiful movie? And the other question was which camp does it represent? Also.
Yeah, just a generic.
The artists who do that work looked at, I think, a few different camps, and I'm not sure and maybe someone in the audience, whether it was one in Montana, I'm not sure. I knew a number of years ago, and we did a number of those. What is that called when you do that kind of artwork? We did it a few times so that it would really convey a real camp. And I don't know if you saw in the background the people walking. Yeah. What's it called?
Oh, that's an interesting noise.
Mocha has an event going on right next door, so their reverb is coming through.
She was afraid it was
Thank you for being through.
the film, but I said, no, it's outside, don't worry. So the film, it was a long process. From the time Nancy optioned the book, it took 8 years to make the film. Yeah, over 8 years. And then, but, the film premiered in Sundance and had terrific reviews. And then it was in theaters for a long time. And then it was Netflix. So now it's on Amazon. So it has an audience. and people have enjoyed it and told other people about it, and we're proud of it.
Thank you.
I think that,
Thank you.
yeah, I think that's going to actually, oh, that's a good question.
No, yes, it's, yes. Okay, you wanna, yeah,
So it's been on airplanes and on, different, it's been in France and been in Canada, many places, but it has not shown in Japan. They won't show it because of the scene when they went to the movies and they saw the newsreel. So they told us they said they would love to show it. We would have to take that scene out, and we didn't want to take it out.
It's fact.
Because it's fact, right? But what we were told, was that not everyone in Japan knew about that. That's what we were told. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're going to have another round of applause. Yeah, and thank you all for your participation and for being here today. Thank you.